Right. Is everyone ready? Yeah. Okay. Welcome everyone. Tonight is June 3rd, 2024. And this is the East Long Meadow Board of Health. And the Board of Health is recording. Is anyone else recording? All right. If no one else is recording, we're going to call the meeting to order, and the chair announcements are that we are hosting this meeting via Zoom webinar pursuant to a 2020 order by former Governor Baker rescinding certain provisions of the open meeting law, which was extended by Governor Healy. So those are the chair announcements for this evening. The first thing on our agenda tonight is to approve the minutes from the prior meeting. Did you all get a chance to look at those minutes? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes or any changes that need to be made?
I motion to approve. I second.
Okay. All right, so Rebecca's motioning to approve. Katie is seconding, and we will do a roll call vote. So to vote to approve the minutes as written, Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins.
Aye.
Rebecca Torsha.
Aye.
All right, the minutes are approved as written. So next thing on our agenda is public comment. Is anyone here for public comment tonight?
If you know, there's one person. If you have a public comment, would you mind raising your hand? Okay, I think we're good.
All right. Given that nobody is here for or has any comments that they wish to add, we will move on in our agenda to business at hand. So Tammy, I'm going to turn this over to you. We're going to talk about waste disposal first.
Okay, nothing too different to add from the last meeting. I just kind of wanted to get some paperwork together to start working on applications for these fees. So the one that we definitely need to at least approve right now, which we could approve both of them, is the one that is for the site assessment technical fee. And that's the one that will kind of allow them to come into town in the first place. And that's the one that's for $500. And how we came up with that was at least 10 hours of town time to be put to it at $50 an hour is $500. It's a one-time fee. I did send you guys kind of like draft. I sent it by DEP to look over it. That one's pretty much done, and that's for the site assignment technical site assignment review. And then I started working on one for an annual fee, which would be the waste disposal site permit. I don't think I'm going to finish that one until we've gone through the site assessment, just because maybe it'll kind of come up with some questions that we might want to look at for, you know, every year on an annual basis. But just kind of to give it an idea, I had put a rough draft together. And then I think that, you know, that could be a good, I'd say about a $250, I think would be it kind of matches up with a lot of our other permits as well, for an annual fee. And I think that for the first year, we would waive for a new site, waiving the $250, seeing as they paid the $500. But that is up to you guys to vote on. There's really not much newer information from the last meeting, but I just want to make sure I had everything ducks in a row. I'm not adding it to our waste regulation because it doesn't really fit kind of the spirit of it and how it's written. It's really more on recycling and the disposal end, not the facility end. So if anything in the future, once we kind of see how it runs, I might make its own bylaw, but for now, this will just be a fee that we would approve and recommend to the town council to adopt into the bylaws.
That rate seems totally appropriate for me based off, like you said, the other ones we have in town and what we mentioned last time, how it's similar to what other people have done too. So
yeah. And the idea of the fee was not only recommended to me by our DEP liaison, but also the engineer for the firm said you really should have a fee, or the engineer for the company coming in. So it wasn't something that we just kind of pulled out of thin air. It was recommended. And other towns have an annual permit for waste disposal sites as well. Actually, they're more expensive than ours. Oop, lost Chris.
And
So
are you
now
gonna,
you said,
oh, go ahead, Katie.
I was just gonna say, so now you said one is completed because I reviewed those, and then do we have to motion for both of them to be approved at those rates, or do we have to make a kind of a paper
So
for the second one?
Yeah, the application is not anything you have to vote on. I just kind of put that along so just to give you an idea of some of the questions we would be asking ahead of time. The application for the site assessment, I think I'm gonna send it one more time to DEP and see what they like it, and then go with that one. And then the other one I'll probably kind of develop as we go forward and look at the site assessment process.
In the
But
annual fee, in
voting
particular,
for
is that-
both would be fine unless you want to wait, but it's probably easier to vote for both of them now because then we can get it on the next town council or the next one where they're going to vote on bylaws or fees to put in the bylaws.
And I was just gonna ask, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. When you do the annual, you're gonna be able to roll that into your digital system?
I think it might be, I probably wouldn't do it for one permit because we only have one.
Okay,
Yeah. We have a couple permits like that where we don't get a lot a year. And it doesn't seem quite worth it for the work that it goes into actually putting the online form in. But maybe down the line when we would decide that we're going to have 100% online permits, we'll kind of add those stragglers in.
So then one of us needs to make a motion for each thing individually, or can we do it combined?
we're motioning, or the motion needs to be that we are recommending 2 fees to the town council for approval in the bylaws. One would be the solid waste disposal facility site assignment application with associated $500 fee. I'm just clarifying before anybody makes a motion, right? And the second would be for a solid waste disposal facility annual license fee. Is that correct, Tammy?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think by like Robert's rules, I can just say so moved as stated by the chairperson.
I mean, I can make the motion because I just said it.
Oh yeah,
So
you can, the
why
chair,
don't
yeah.
I'll make the motion. I'll just repeat myself. So I motion to recommend 2 fees to the town council for approval in the bylaws. The first fee would be a $500 fee for a solid waste disposal facility application at the time of application. And the second fee would be a $250 fee for a solid waste disposal facility, and that would be an annual fee.
I second.
Okay. And so we will do a roll call vote. Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins,
Aye.
Rebecca Torsha.
Aye.
All right, so that motion has passed. So Tammy, please fill us in.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I will write up that motion and send it in to the town clerk to give to the town council tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate your guidance on that. All right.
It's still very new.
Cool. Well, next on our agenda is a update from the town health nurse. So I don't know if Chris, if you're capable of turning on your camera and or your volume at least. We'd love to hear what you've been up to.
You hear me? You can hear me? Oh, good. I don't know why my video on this isn't working. I apologize. But I've been picking up a little bit of speed here. I started doing a class on Mondays at the senior center. It's the advanced chair exercise, which I absolutely love doing. The members are wonderful participants and they give me a lot of feedback on whether they want to go a little bit more with weights and less cardio, because it's about a 45-minute class. And I've been instructing them in means of, what body parts we're working anytime they pick up weights. And just kind of like instruct them throughout the whole class, which is a lot of fun. I seem to be now getting to be more like I don't want to say counselor, but they'll come into my office and ask to speak to me. And of course, I'm going to be available for them. And they're just pretty much opening up to me and letting me know different things that they're concerned about. May it be a medication, what they should be looking for. So I'll take like whatever time they need until they feel like their answer is whatever questions they had, they got the answer for. And I always tell them, if I don't have the answer, I'll try to find out for you and I'll get back to you. But also we had a health fair last Thursday. So I did blood pressure. I did the blood pressure like clinic, if you will, with them. And I gave them a little card writing down their blood pressure. And if they ever have any concerns, they can always refer to that or come to me and I can do another blood pressure. So I'm working on that. And I go up to, let's see, Inward Commons. I do once a month there, a blood pressure clinic. I also go up to Corey Hill once a month and we kind of stagger it around their coffee hour. So sometimes it's around 2 o'clock, sometimes it's lunch hour. And the other complex over there is the Green Village. Is it Green Village? Yeah, Village Green. I'm sorry. I got those words mixed up. So I'm trying to keep up with that, and which is wonderful. I'm actually getting out there in the community more, and whatever questions they have, I just sit down with them and I enjoy learning about them and finding out what their concerns are. Tammy got me a nice big PDR, so we'll just sit there and I can show them, exactly what's in there and side effects to look for, because that's often what they look for or ask questions about. When should I take it? Is this kind of a side effect that I'd be getting, while I take this medication? And if any concerns they do have, of course, I'm going to refer them to their doctor that prescribed the medication. I also started a walking club on Thursdays, and every Thursday so far it's rained. We haven't been able, I got out there once with a group of 5 and they had a blast. But since then, it's been raining. So I'm gonna try to get out there. We're pushing the time up to 9 o'clock instead of 10, because once the warmer weather gets here, I figured an earlier start would be best. So we're going to try that out. Hopefully it won't rain this Thursday. And I invite you all to come and join me, which would be fun. And it's a great walk. I mean, there's no hills. You just go down the rail trail here and back, and it takes about an hour for them. And they really enjoy it, at least that one time when we went. Let's see. And I am working with Danelle. She does the Senior Watch meetings once a month. It's usually held on a Friday, and we'll go through individuals in the community that need a little bit more support. And so far, nobody really has had a medical issue like a red flag, but I did reach out to her and tell her if she ever feels that she needs me to come out with her, I'd be more than happy to go out with her. I do have a resident in town that does have a medical issue, and I will be following up with her sometime in the next week and a half, I believe. And she's more than happy to have me come out. So I think it's just, for me, it's building those relationships. And I feel like I'm getting there. It's slow, but I'm one step closer than I was before. The other thing is working with Maven and working through that. we do have a client that came from Pakistan. She's going to be going through the TB clinic as soon as we can get her an appointment. I think they're really kind of backed up a little bit. So I told her I would, go with her if she'd like. And let's see, other than that, that's about where I'm at right now.
What
if
did you think of the public health nurse conference?
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I loved it. It was a wonderful conference. It was very engaging. We had pretty much from the nurses in Western Mass, we had probably the biggest group, from the Western Mass region, other than other groups throughout the state of Massachusetts. The speakers, there happened to be this one particular speaker that kind of really piqued my interest, and it had a lot to do with doing outreach for moms and babies. I talked to Tammy a little bit about that, but it would take a village pretty much to get something like that started from the ground up. The contact person that I have, she's from out of Peabody. She's very willing to help me out. So this would be something that would be a huge project for me. So it's definitely going to take me some time and see if I can get other nurses from our Western Mass region to see if they'd be willing to join in. But
Well,
other
don't be
than that, yeah.
Chris, if you need me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, I said, don't be afraid to utilize me at the office if there's something that I can do to help, like research or putting something together. But we can talk. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. But I'm really enjoying my position as a public health nurse. So thank you.
And you'll be busy learning a lot of new stuff this summer with the camp season coming up. It's
Oh, yeah.
to actually have a public health nurse to help with all the medical files.
Yeah, yeah. I actually did open up that the link that was sent to me in regards to approvals, and I navigated, I got around it and I read a lot. It's very intensive, all the things that these camps need to be able to get up and running. So going through each and every one of them, it's very interesting how they have to get all their paperwork in and make sure that their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed, I guess, if you will. Yeah. So, but I will look for a little bit of help with that because I'm hoping that I did the right thing. But when I go back in tomorrow, I'll see if I did it right.
Well, it's brand new because this is our first season with the online permitting and
yeah.
well, with camps I think that at a minimum, every camp is going to download 14 attachments.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
14 separate policies. And there's new ones. The newest one for this year, because of the new rec camp code, is every camp has to have a pandemic infectious disease policy now.
Okay.
But that being said, the state gave very little guidance as to what should be in it. So that'll be something that we can help people with over the season.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's almost as many forms as when you sign your kid up for camp.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. It's still a learning. Yeah, I'm definitely learning. There's a big learning curve, but I think I'm making my way. It's a good job. I really enjoy it. And I have great people that I work with, and the members over at the senior center are wonderful. So it's a happy place to be.
And Chris, there's a lot of the programs that you've been working on, you don't have to be a senior to use, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
if you wanted to get your blood pressure checked, you could stop by those hours.
Any age, yeah, anytime. If they want to call me to make an appointment, if they're not able to make it to the blood pressure clinics, we hold them the next one. When is the next one? I don't really have my calendar out, but I'm available on Mondays and Thursdays at the senior center. I've been trying to do half days also at the senior center on Wednesdays, but I'm available pretty much anytime if anybody has any kind of medical concern in regards to blood pressures, ear checks, because I have a oh my gosh, I'm losing the name of it, an otoscope. Oh my gosh. To look in ears, if anybody would like me to look in their ears. So yeah, they can just call me and I'd be more than happy to, even if they're shut-ins and they can't come out, I can go to your home and do a blood pressure in the home also. A basic
Did it-
assessment, I should say, a basic nursing assessment.
Were you able to finally get in touch with the foot person?
Yes, so far we are going to work with Dr. Cindy Galavetti. I think I'm saying her last name right. She's from out of Long Meadow. So she will commit to once a month at our senior center for foot care. So you would have to call the senior center in order to make a half-hour reservation with her. And it's a $45 fee.
Cool.
If there's anything else that you feel that I could add in or improve, just, I like positive feedback. Please, I invite it. Anything negative, give it to Tammy. How's that?
I like it.
Good.
We're glad you're here, Chris.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Anything else for Chris? Any questions? Katie, Rebecca? No.
No?
Great.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you,
I'll hang
Chris.
in here. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna listen some more.
Awesome. That's great. All right, Tammy, back over to you for recycling and trash updates.
Okay, let's see. Finally got the Earth Day totals since we had some issues with trying to get the toters picked up from, or the totes, or the, not the totes, dumpsters picked up from the transfer station. While we had record number of people volunteering, we didn't pick up as much trash, and I think that's because they've been doing a good job, which is great. But let's see, we had about a half a ton of just regular solid waste trash and a quarter of a ton of recycling, which maybe that means people are recycling more, which would be really nice to know. But a lot of participation. It was a very good event, even if it was a little rainy. It wasn't too rainy, but we got quite a few people that day, and we still have all the prizes in the health department. If you want something and you received a phone call or an email, come by, because that maple coffee from Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters that was donated looks really good. Ready to open it up. Let's see. We did have a Fix It clinic last Friday. I think there about 6 people signed up. When I was there, I saw them fixing a couple lamps. Like one was a nice antique lamp. So it's kind of neat to see that we can get that still, keep that from going in the landfill and keep these heirlooms at home. The next one, which I don't have the date yet because I'm not sure if it's set up, is going to be a Fix It clinic, because we have to do 4 of them here. But we're going to also have an upcycling activity. And the activity that Liz decided to pick that she has been practicing will be rug weaving used t-shirts. And so she's been practicing on how to do that, so we can add that to the next Fix It clinic. It sounds pretty neat. I can't wait to see it. And you're making your own you make your own kind of weaving loom. I think it's out of like an old hoop or something like that. And people have been calling, and they will be going out soon. The new trash and recycling calendar should be coming out. I think that we just kind of finished up on that, and that'll get mailed out to all the residents. But if you need extra ones, we always keep a ton of them at the health department. And this year, I believe that we finally got the color combinations right. So all types of color blindness will be able to read them. Any questions about recycling and trash? Our contract is not up, contrary to what other people are believing and keep asking for copies of contracts, thinking that we're going to be up this year. We're only in year 3, so we have a couple more years of that. And it seems that with Casella, we really haven't had very little complaints. Trash gets picked up. I know this weekend was a little harder because of the Saturday, but so far so good. They will be ours still for a couple more years.
I know last summer, as it got really hot, they started early. So if folks just be aware that that might happen this summer again, and that wasn't on them, that was on where they were bringing the trash to, right?
The Murph
so-
and Springfield, they actually, they keep shorter hours on days where it's hot because the equipment can't operate.
Yes. So if you were like my house and your trash gets picked up at 7, be prepared if it's really hot out.
Yeah. And so hopefully we'll be able to kind of get that information out early, instead of sometimes we'll get like a 9 o'clock at night email. By the way, tomorrow is, so trying to get that out through Facebook and through Code Red kind of gets a little tricky. But we kind of talked about that. Some other things that are on our radar with them is people have been putting lawn waste in regular trash bags and putting them in their trash. You might start seeing tickets if you start doing that. $50, you get yourself a transfer station ticket, and you can bring it down to transfer stations on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Cheaper than a ticket. So that is that.
How much is a ticket, just so people are aware?
They could be anywhere from, I believe, $50 to $300.
Good to know.
Don't put your yard
Depending on-
waste in your trash.
Yeah. And Casella has the right also to ticket. But I don't think they would ever. I've never heard of them doing that. Republic never did that either. Let's see. So that is that for trash and recycling. Any questions, comments? Let's see. Updates. I just have a couple updates. I feel like we've been this is sort of like the busy season at the health department, where we're getting all of the pool paperwork coming in, all the camp paperwork, and both of those are brand new to the OpenGov online e-permitting. So on my end, I'm keeping busy with kind of processing all of that, or not processing. Renee processes the paperwork. I review it, and then it goes over to Alex, and now Chris, for the camp stuff too. And camp inspections will start soon. I know pool inspections have already started. We've been getting tons of permits for temporary festivals coming up. Obviously, Carnival. This weekend was the farmers market started. I guess I had good turnout on that one. Very kind of busy, heavy permitting time of year. And especially kind of trying to get people acclimated to some of the new regulations, like the camp regulations. They're not too different, but they're enough to kind of tweak everything a little bit that they have to visit a lot of their policies. We also were able to hold a food safety manager certification class last month, and it was pretty well attended. I think we had maybe like 15 or 16 people, and of those people, there were at least 3 different faith-based organizations in town sent people to get food safety manager certified, which kind of shows that a lot of the faith-based organizations are kind of branching out when it comes to trying to do fundraising and making sure that they kind of are meeting the same food safety goals as our, regular food service establishments that we have in town. Mostly that would mean like things like being able to have events where it's not just their congregation that's coming, but they can open them up to the town too. We have the Harmony Fest and a couple of things like that in town. And that makes me happy that more people are getting are getting trained with that. And because we were able to do it, she actually charged significantly less than if you were going to go on your own. So hopefully we can make it sort of a regular thing that we do every year, having them come to town. And I'm also looking into trying to get a trainer to do choke saving for the next upcoming year. Let's see. Other updates. Anything else I'm forgetting, Renee?
No, I was going to talk about the Casella thing. The heat thing, because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a very delicate flower in the summer, so I think that. And did they say something about making sure that the barrels are as close to the road as possible? I think we got an email a little while back saying that it was back about 5 to 10 feet from the edge. I think that's the only thing I can think of.
Oh yeah, to make it easier and making, double checking. I know everybody's orders on Amazon, making sure that all of your recycling is broken down 2 by 2 feet by 2 feet, because that's what fits in the hopper.
Wait,
She's
say
shaking
that
her head.
again. So all cardboard boxes have to be broken down by 2 feet to 2 feet?
Mhm.
Yep.
So like they can't just be collapsed boxes?
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically the size of the blue bin. It doesn't have to be in the blue bin necessarily, like if you want to wrap them up. But they'll need them that size so that they can get in.
Okay.
And we try to work with them to make sure that if people aren't doing that they put a little notice. It's yellow, right, Renee? It's a yellow sticker
I think
that
it's either yellow or blue. I think it's blue.
is blue.
I think it's blue.
Well, there is a sticker that goes on your trash if it's overweighted, or if you have more trash in it and it can't shut. That's another, they won't take it that way. So you have to make sure you have it in a pay as you throw bag. And I just thought of something, and then we started talking about trash again, and it just went right back out. It was, should have wrote it down.
That happens to me on a daily occurrence. It'll come back to you after the meeting is over.
I'll write it down to make sure for the next. I didn't write it down, but I meant to talk about it. So if you would like, we talked about this at the last meeting with the new model tobacco sales regulations that have come out. I have talked to some of the people at MAHB and MHOA, and they would be willing to come kind of give us a little talk about the new stuff in the regulation. So we can always set that up for our next board meeting, just to get a better perspective on it from what they see in the model code. So we can do that. Still feel like I was about to say something else.
The only thing I can think of that we ever talk about in the spring going into summer is pest control.
That is exactly, so you read my mind. We've started with the first round of catch basin treatments. We're going to do an extra round this year, another like a September round, because usually we do April and July. the 2 rounds. So this will be April, July, September to kind of cover that area. And I think that they haven't hit out here yet, but they're starting to do the traps and kind of our Pioneer Valley Mosquito Control District, and kind of do surveillance out here. So when that starts to pop up, you can rest assured that you will be hearing from me about mosquitoes. And this is also kind of the beginning of a variety of vector-borne diseases that we'll see. So ticks, mosquitoes, making sure that you're cleaning your yard, that you're tipping over all the water that's standing in your yard, cutting back brushes further away, and that, making sure that when you're out hiking, you're out in wooded areas, doing the tick check, super duper important. And I will say, so with Chris monitoring the Maven, I'm not quite sure what people are starting to see out there. And is it quiet in the hospitals, Katie? It's quiet. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, things are fine. So that's good. There's just weird viruses in general, like not anything vector borne as of right now. So
Are we just gonna see weird viruses forever?
well, and that's I don't know if you guys heard about it, but they had like tropical mosquito diseases on the Northeast, like chikungunya and dengue.
They
So that's the
haven't
only
sent
thing.
that out to us yet.
Yeah, so that was in where was it? Goodness, this is how I can tell I haven't had enough sleep with a sick kid. But yeah, there's again all these vector-borne diseases because we didn't have that bad of a winter. And there was ticks much earlier this year though, because of that too. That's the only other thing.
Yeah, there was we were getting phone calls in the winter time. Our ground does not freeze in Western Mass, or at least in this portion of Western Mass anymore. So
Well,
all
they
those
changed our region. Did you see that for like flowers? They changed
No.
our region, like our growing region. So that's indicative of like the warming of the whole region.
Yeah, that's a USDA map or something. It's the whole country, basically. Climate change is real.
Well, I was kind of hoping, because we are the county is required to work on a project for kind of responding to emerging threats, and I was really hoping that we would do heat and heat related diseases, but they picked water safety. So we'll see how that goes for starting for next fiscal year. But I'm curious, that's also curious because we were affected by the main break from Springfield, because a good portion. So it has affected us. So it is a little timely, but I feel like we're seeing so much more heat related illness that I think that maybe that'll be like the year after that. Let's get even hotter, and then we'll start dealing with it as a county. That's my updates. It's an
All
easy
right.
week.
Thanks. Anything else
Okay.
going on we should talk about, Chris?
Yeah, you were talking about how things are getting warmer with global warming. When I was at that convention out there, there was a guest speaker. His name was Tevin, not Kevin. He had a twin brother, Kevin, but this was Tevin Wooten, and he is the meteorologist for WCVB5. He did a lot of talking about global warming and how important it is to, we all know how important it is to take care of our earth, but he also concentrated more on the Boston area and how he brought up a map on how hot that whole area is, and how he kept saying that Mother Earth has a fever. He kept saying she's got a fever and things are getting hotter. And he compared two screens between one year was like year 2000, and I can't remember in the earlier 2000s compared to now. And the screen was all red. It was just crazy, the amount and how much they have to close down some of their lakes and ponds in the summertime because of the, airborne or vector diseases that are in those areas. So I thought that was really interesting, that he brought this up. And to be honest, I'm very concerned about it. I'm very concerned about this global warming and how we can try to help prevent it somehow. But anyway, that's my little soapbox speech.
We
And
have a
I
lot
just
of
looked it up.
seniors.
There was,
Oh no, we have a lot of seniors living at home, and
Right.
while we haven't been impacted that much with 911 calls, I can foresee that in the future we will probably start seeing a much more significant increase because of heat related stroke, other illnesses at home.
Yeah, they're very sensitive to that. That
I'm
worries
sorry,
me.
the article I was talking about was saying how because of global warming, we're seeing mosquitoes that we normally would not see in New England, and that there is potential a risk at some point, but there's not been any of that yet. So that's good news, but more reason to kill the mosquitoes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you.
More reason. Someone can
They do
find the
nothing
purpose for
for
the
our
mosquito.
environment,
No, just annoy you. That's all.
right? More reasons to have bats.
That would be a fun thing if we could if we could do like a for one of the upcycling events, maybe do some sort of like a bat box.
My
Ooh, I
kid
like
made
that.
one on his field trip. We have a bat box. I have to figure out where to put it.
We put ours up. We made ours last year. They do it with, what is it, second grade? They take all the kids in second grade to make bat houses on a field trip. I've been doing it for
I
years.
actually I went on some of those field trips with the kids in Esau Meadow up to it's a place up in Munson. They had a ball. They had such a good time building those bat homes. And they're very effective, I feel.
Cool. Anything else?
Should we look at planning our meeting? I don't think.
Yeah. I picked up a citronella plant at the garden
Oh,
store.
those are supposed to be great.
Yeah. Figured rather than burning a candle, I could just like plant a plant, 2 for 1. Sequester some carbon, right? Kill some mosquitoes.
Very true.
Did we want to take, I know we discussed taking the month of July off. Sorry, my neighbor chose right now to mow their lawn right outside my window. So if you can't hear me, just yell. Or we're just gonna be working around everybody's schedules, so whatever. Shout out some dates.
I could do the first week of August. Any
like
night
that.
that week.
That's
Are
fine.
you talking about the first full week of August?
Yeah, so like the 5th through the 9th.
I have some plans on the 7th, 8th, and 9th, so like the 5th would be better. I can do the
Okay.
week before or the week after as well.
I cannot do the week after.
Okay.
Let me look at
For-
the email that
Yeah, if we need to invite guests, it might behoove us to have like a date and a backup date.
I just want to make sure when let's see. Safe to say that Mondays and Tuesdays are generally blacked out except for months with a 5th week. I like that. Let's see. School committee meets on Mondays. Planning council meet the 1st and 3rd and 2nd and 4th Tuesdays. So that's every Tuesday, except for a 5th Tuesday.
Tammy, you just
Um,
need to go back and tell IT that they need to re-up the Zoom license.
I know.
That
Second and
That's not
fourth
gonna-
Mondays for the Center District Steering Committee. I'm like, okay. I think we just come up with dates. We throw them at the wall and see what sticks. And if they've already taken.
Yeah, so I
them-
could do the week of the 29th through the August 2nd. And I can do the 5th or the 6th of August. The rest of August, I'm gone. I took a 2-week vacation this year.
Should we keep the 5th and 6th open? Does that
Yeah.
work? And then I'll reach out to the MHOA people to see if they are available for that. We give
Mhm.
them 2 days.
Perfect.
Does that work for you, Rebecca?
Yeah, that works. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on both days just in case.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Be on the safe side.
Okay.
Cool.
Ditto.
Look at that.
All right.
Getting it done.
Okay. Do we have a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
All right. And I can second that motion. So Christine Johnston, aye. Katie Dobbins.
Aye.
Rebecca Torsia.
I
All right. The meeting of the Board of Health is closed. Thank you all so much. Enjoy your summer. Tammy, let us know if anything comes up and you need us. Just reach out.
Take care,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Thank you
All right.
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.